right? Woo! Let's go. Him. Often imitated, never duplicated. Nah, that fool with no hair that shouts like Ric Flair. Woo! The Raider Bear! Hey, when you hear the injury report, you'll be happy too. A Raider! So what's up, fam? Welcome to the show. Appreciate you all tuning in to Raider Bear Live, your host. And we're going to talk about the injury report in a second. We're going to talk about Jamal Adams and what he wants to do. I don't know if I agree with it or not, but yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. We know we're playing those dirty Jaguars. We have a pretty good chance there, but they're hyping up their draft pick as a way of, like, you know, saying that we're somehow in some sort of trouble or something like that. I think it's totally stupid. Okay. It was a stupid article altogether, but you know what I mean. Anyway, what do we normally do at this point? I can't remember. Tradish! Raider Bear Live! First comment. Woo! MVP tonight goes to that 5-emoji making son of a gun, woo, who I clearly motivated because he shook off all that beach sand, told all those hoes to get off of him, finished his drink, and then ran home to get back into shape. Mark Vargas, your woo champion of the world, I might add. Now, your middleweight championship, how you had the 2 belts, can't do that anymore. Because, see, John the Lion Leon has solidified himself as the number 2 headband. Okay, so you have the number 1 headband. So the only person that can challenge you is the guy with the number 2 headband. And only cool people will understand why only the number 2 headband can attack the number 1 headband. Speaking of which, John the Lion Leon, always dropping L's, but never taking losses. Your middleweight champion of the world, John the Lion Leon. Oh, I saw it, man, just in time. Just in time. Third place, my bronze medal goes to DPC David Pelcaliva, who leads men to war. What's up, DPC? Welcome to the show, brother. Yep, that's right. I gave you the military axe tonight, the tactical axe. I'm just kidding. They didn't say any of that in the commercial. I just like it. I hate when they do that. Get your tack glasses and your your tack glasses, your tack axe, and all that stuff. Honorable mention to Bob Standard. What's up, Bob? Welcome to the show. Always there for Raider Bear. Facebook, my Facebook people. What's up? Welcome to the show. Things just keep rolling on, because this man is like death and taxes. Woo! Carlos! Boy! Boykins! What's up, my brother? Welcome to the show. You're gold medalist at Facebook, dominating. And you know, David Pell-Kleiber, this young man, Carlos, he's doing you proud. You see, Carlos, David Pell-Kleiber was whipping people way back when you were in diapers. Okay. I don't know what age he is. That's why it's funny. But way back when, because he's been watching my show for a very, very many years. I appreciate you that. Second place. Woo! My silver medal goes to, because if anybody can do, it's Hendu. Mike Henderson! Sup, brother? Welcome to the show. Always there for Raider Bear. I see you there. Third place, my bronze medal goes to Chris, keeping it strong. You know, there's not too many names that are cooler than just strong. You know what I mean? I couldn't imagine the trouble I would have gotten when I was younger if people said to me, "What's your name?" Joe. Strong. What are you, a porn star or an action figure? Both. Honorable mention goes to the head of my security, Joe Holman. What's up, handsome Joe? Welcome to the show. Always there for a Raider Bear. Okay, let me see. Who else is here? Wimopars 4833. I remember you, bro. What's up? Welcome to the show. S.A. Big Dog, always there for Raider Bear. ¿Qué pasó, carnal? Just win, baby. That's right, my brother. Vicky Ginn, always there, beautiful for a Raider Bear. Appreciate you. There! Someone had to make me do it, right? All right, let's see. Yeah, you know, SA moving up a little bit, you know, trying to let people know who I am. And remember, if you enjoyed the show, consider a subscription to Raider Bear family page. Now, if you would on YouTube, please just click right down there and you can help a brother out with this algorithm here on YouTube. And if you're willing to subscribe to Raider Bear Live on Facebook, you'd be helping me because we work with charities all over the world. And more importantly, we are also on Patreon. That's Raider Bear Family or Raider Bear on Patreon. Don't miss me. All right, let's see. John Rogers Jr., what's up, man? Welcome to the show. The Quiet, let's go. That means Raider Bear is feeling thoughtful and intuitive tonight. Chris. Oh, man, that's comment of the night already. Vicky Ginn. Appreciate the love on the stars, sweetheart. Always saving the show. Stephen Shaw, always there for Raider Bear, and Mrs. Shaw. Yeah, Vicky, I've been busy off camera. I just haven't been able to do as many shows as I have in the past, but I'm pretty positive I'm going to be able to get back to that here pretty quick. Appreciate the love on the gear, 4833. Much love. Anna Diaz Rincon, my first subscriber ever. Hi, love. Welcome to the show. Oh, look at that. Stephen Shaw and Mrs. Shaw. And she gets the bell, too. I love when Boykins is in the middle round. Such an amazing intro. Chris, okay, whatever you want, just let me know, okay? Flattery will get you everywhere. I'm weak. That's right. Great minds, brother. Great minds. Yes, that's right, Boykins. Tell him. Always supporting Raider Bear night after night. Yes, I did see those stars, Vicky Ginn. I love you, girl. Nisi Tweet Thomas, another favorite female of mine. What's up, love? Welcome to the show. All right, so getting to business now that we have all the lovely ladies in the house and all the cool guys here. All right, so the injury report, and again, I'm just going to go quick because it's only 2 days. So it's Wednesday and Thursday of the report that I'm giving you right now. So at the top, Brock Bowers, his knee is what he's obviously been working off, but he has a full practice Wednesday and Thursday, so he's all good. Adam Butler did not practice Wednesday and had limited on Thursday. So if he gets a full practice Friday, he'll play. If he only gets limited, usually a coach will only allow them to play limited snaps. Okay, so let's see. Max Crosby back. Did not practice Wednesday. Limited Thursday. Probably will go, obviously, because he'll probably get a full or limited practice on Friday. But he's a veteran. If he wants to go, he can go. I honestly would consider maybe giving him that day off. If his back is bad, and they are talking about it, I mean, let's not overlook that Wednesday Max Crosby did not practice at all. Okay, so that's really, taking it easy. You know what I mean? And we know we want to come out of this bye with a win. So I know we want to come out with a bye with a win. I know it's our best defensive player, but I don't like the idea of this is we're on the cusp of this being a lost season. You know what I'm saying? We have a chance to salvage this season, but you can't if you get him hurt. If we were to win every game the rest of the way out and he gets hurt, you know what I mean? It still looks, because I think the best we could be is like 8-5 or 9-5, something like that. All right, so anyway, after that is Lonnie Johnson. We're just getting him back. He had a broken fibula. That really takes a lot of time. That's why it's been this long. But he got limited practice on Wednesday and Thursday, so no telling what we're going to see of him on Friday. If it's also limited, he definitely won't start. He'll probably play, but he definitely won't start. Jacoby Myers is ready to go, full practice across both days. His knee was bothering him, but he's fine. Okay, now Isaiah Pola-Mao. Now here's where it gets weird. Isaiah Pola-Mao, his ankle and knee, he had a full practice Wednesday, and then they limited him on Thursday. Now, that might be so they don't aggravate it, and they saw him give a full practice Wednesday and went, okay, save it for the field. I tried to research it. I didn't find anything that gave me that indication from reports I was getting from other pages. Everyone was just saying the same thing. Got a full Wednesday, got a limited on Thursday. So it might be nothing, or it could be a setback. So we'll have to look to see if Isaiah Pola-Mao either starts or plays at all by what we get on Friday, tomorrow's injury report. And speaking of which, I will be here tomorrow. I apologize. I've missed a few days here and there in and out of other shows, but I will be here tomorrow night. Don't miss me. We're going to go over the final injury report for Friday, and then we're going to talk about who's going to start. We have the depth chart we have to go over, and of course, we have to go over what Jamal Adams said just recently. Let's see. And the wide receiver. Oh, no, whoops, that's incorrect. Sorry. Now, the big one was Aiden O'Connell. Now, the great news is Aiden O'Connell got full practice on both days. So he's 100%. He's ready to go. Now, he may have a little, a few things to work out because it's his right wrist, and that is his throwing hand, unfortunately. But I think it'll just be kinks. I think he'll be able to get back into it. He's probably going to start slow. Don't expect magic. You know what I mean? This guy's not Kenny Stabler, but if he can get his act together, and I'm going to say this again because I know you guys know this already, but I don't back down, okay? I called him as a dark horse quarterback when he was in the draft, and then I said he was the third highest rated quarterback, in my opinion, coming out of that draft, and then we picked him up. Okay, now, we picked him up. Every critic said that kid's got a chance. He's super tough. He's got that, win attitude at all costs. He may not have a cannon of an arm, but he gets the ball there and he's precise. And we've never had a chance to really see him do that because our offensive line has been a patchwork of guys for the last 4 years, something like that straight. Okay, whether we were winning or winning or losing or whatever, we always had mixing and matching on the line. It's just been a headache. If they could just get a line in front of Aiden O'Connell, I'm telling you, I would gamble on him. I'm telling you, I would bet on him. If we knew our offensive line was going to play well tomorrow, if there was just some way I could know that tomorrow our offensive line is going to play well, if there was just some way I could know that, I would guarantee a win. I would guarantee a win. That he's going to go out there and play well, and our defense is going to play well. We'll slap the Jaguars, slap them, because I believe in Aiden O'Connell. And I've said this over and over again. I apologize. So anyone new that may be watching the show, anyone who may not have heard me say this, just try this on. Go on YouTube after the show's over, or turn it on with your phone or whatever right now if you can, and look at Aiden O'Connell when he was in school. Okay, and if you just put in Aiden O'Connell college highlights, I'm telling you, you'll see a guy that looks gritty and tough, slides in the pocket, decent feet, accuracy, toughness, no fear, takes big hits even while delivering the ball. And his accuracy was off the charts in college. He was the third highest accuracy when he was in school. So I believe in him. I think if they give him a shot, we could really see something because he knows the situation the Raiders are in. You know what I mean? And there's another report too going around that I'm going to discuss with you guys in a minute. And I'm going to compare the situation that LeBron James is in to the situation that Pete Carroll is in. I think you guys will get a kick out of that. And so I'm just going to give you my input on that in a minute. All right. So the Jacksonville Jaguars injury list, I'm just going to go quick. They have a tight end on the list that had limited practice both days. Devin Lloyd has limited practice both days. That's one of their starting linebackers. That hurts. He may play, but at the very minimum, he's not going to be 100%. And he's almost definitely not going to start if he gets a Friday and he's at limited practice still. De'Ami Brown, wide receiver, that's bad for them. Limited practice, then full practice. So Friday he'll probably play, but he's got shoulder issues. That's, a big part of his game, raising his arms up above his shoulders, making a catch. So he's going to have troubles there. Eric Murray, safety, neck, did not practice either day. He's not going to play. Tim Patrick, wide receiver, groin, limited practice both days. If he plays, he'll be limited because he's a wide receiver. And obviously, without sounding silly, talking about groins and making everyone laugh, obviously, when you transition left to right as you run, your groin muscle, is flexing every time you go left, every time you go right. And so it'll bother him if that's the case, especially if he's getting limited practice and it's a groin injury. Okay, now this is the third wide receiver they have. Four. Wow, they've got 4 wide receivers on the injury report. I didn't notice that. Okay, so after Tim Patrick, wide receiver, you've got Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver, shoulder, limited practice. So you've got 2 wide receivers, both with shoulder issues, and both had limited practices. Man, the Jaguars are, I hate to say this out loud because it sounds like we should beat the hell out of them because they are banged up. Their offense is banged up. Their defense is banged up. Remember, I remember the first guy I read was their tight end. So they got 4 wide receivers and their tight end from their offense, hurting. And then 2 linebackers is the second one. Dennis Gardeck, his chest, something with his chest. I don't know if it's a pull or who knows what, but it says limited practice on both days. So he doesn't look good to play. And then Jordan Lewis, cornerback, another defender. So let's see. That's a lot of defense on the field, on the injured list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you count Travis Hunter. And I'm counting Travis Hunter both ways because he's going to play wide receiver and defensive back. So he hurts them. That's double. That's double bad because we'll see what happens on Friday. But there's a very good chance, guys, that the Heisman Trophy winner does not play. I'm sure you probably haven't heard anyone say that, but I'm saying there's a high probability. Now, here why. On Wednesday, the opening day of practice, he's a scratch, and it doesn't give an explanation for why. It just still says in the injury box knee, but usually it will say team disclosed, team excuse allowed, kind of, abbreviation. That means basically the team gave him the day off. There's nothing here. It just shows Wednesday as blank. So he didn't go to practice. They would have put limited or something like that just to not me. So there's no controversy there. But if he's not there, all they can say is he didn't show up for practice. This just basically says he didn't show up for practice. Now it's a knee, so that's crucial. Obviously, we know how important your knees are. If you're a young brother and you're fast and you're doing all this jumping and sprinting and so on. And he plays both ways. That makes it even harder. And Thursday, he only had a limited practice. That means he's only got tomorrow to get a full practice, or he probably doesn't see the field, or at the very minimum, it's at a minimum so that he sees the field. Okay. Now, there's an argument out there circulating that Pete Carroll should step down. You know what? I want to go back, though, because I'm seeing a lot of questions, and I don't like when I fall behind too much and I don't see any of your questions. Your opinion on the Raiders picking up Mr. Lockett. Matt Marinovich, welcome to the show. That's a dope wolf. And by the way, what do I think of Lockett? I think it's a smart move for our situation. Does that make sense? Because we've already got limitations at wide receiver, and one of the better ones we have announced that he doesn't want to be here before the game's even started. So that's a precarious situation at best. So I would have traded Jacoby Myers during the break because if you knew you were going to get Lockett, there's your replacement. And okay, yeah, we only have Trey Tucker and a handful of Bachman and a handful of other guys off that would be coming off the bench, being cycled in off special teams and so on. So what? You know what I mean? You have 2 wins, man. You got to do everything, man. You got to throw the kitchen sink at your opponent. You got to reach down and have a defensive tackle run for 1 yard in the red zone for a touchdown. You got to reach for everything. And I don't want to see trick plays and flea flickers, not stuff like that. But you got to get every player's contribution if you can. Everybody, anyone you can mix in as special teams on a punt return, go get it. You know what I mean? See what you can do, kid, and send them out there. And I would be giving a lot of people a chance. Maybe just intermittently, with plays, but they're going to see the field. Jesse Parker, always there for R8RBEAR, my fashion designer extraordinaire. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. You notice how that all rhymed? I've been practicing that just for you, brother. Oh, and we got to talk later. It's my turn to send you something. I know that already, but we got to talk later because I can't just send you Cobra Command stuff all the time. Actually, I probably could because I know you're sick crazy about that guy, but we'll see. Tim, what's up? Hi, Peggy. Bear, do you really think we can beat the Jaguars? My lovely but Raider-hating wife. My lovely but Raider-hating wife. Man, I love how you put my lovely in there first so she wouldn't slap you upside your head. You guys are cute. I love you guys. Pointed out to me that the Jaguars are 3-point favorites in our house and have some impressive wins, including against the Chiefs. Yes, they are very versatile. That's the thing. They're throwing the kitchen sink at the field. In fact, now that I make that analogy, I guess I can add that the Jaguars really are doing that. I mean, even the Travis Hunter experiment, I didn't think that was real. I thought they were going to just put him on defense or just put him on offense, and that's it. And they're not. They're really using them everywhere. They've even talked about punt and kick returns, which I just thought was crazy because all you're doing is taking probably the most valuable weapon you have and risking his knees and ankles and Achilles tears or concussions from big hits over and over and over and over, increasing the odds that one of those things is going to happen eventually. To me, I'm leaving him at defensive back or wide receiver, and that's it. Let the kid learn for a year at least. You know what I mean? Then year 2, he's going to gain 10, 15 pounds. Put him out there. He's got more experience, more confidence, understands the speed of the game, adjustments on the field as far as side adjustments, see what the defense is doing, adjust to it quickly so you can get your eyes around and the quarterback can hit you, et cetera, et cetera. But let him do that first. You know what I mean? Defensive back, I mean, I'm not saying it's easier to play defensive back, but it is once you already know how to play it. So since he's already played defensive back at a high level, I'd leave him at wide receiver, let him get some touchdowns, let him get some fame, and then use him on defense eventually when he gets his man body. Miguel Garcia, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. I love that profile picture. Hey, Bear, that I have buried my godfather who made me a Raider fan for 49 years. God bless him, Miguel. God bless you, brother. I know that's tough and it's sad, but just I always try to say this to everyone. If you're very close to someone that passes away, it's absolutely okay to be sad. It's absolutely okay to cry and all those kinds of things. But once you've done a little level of mourning, that same family member is watching you from up there and they don't want to see you go on and on and on about it. You know what I mean? That's how I felt about my dad. And he literally said that to me once when we were at a funeral for one of our family members. And he said, son, it's not that I don't love our family. I love our family very much. And I have cried and so on, but that's it. Now I'm sending them off with respect. I'm praying with God and with the minister, and I'm going home, and then I'm going to move forward. And every once in a while, I'll think of him and it'll bother me. I'll make a little shrine in the front room on our fireplace for him, and I'll keep it there for a while. But outside of that, that's it. And that's how I'd want it. Once I'm gone, I don't want Raider fans tripping. I want you to all come to my funeral. Raiders! Every single one of you. And any one of you that's not, I'm going to put old sticky bubble gum under your seat at the Raider game and just ruin your jeans. You know I'm not kidding. My guy, hope you're having a great night, fam. I am having a great night, actually. Thank you for saying that. It's my guy right there, Shane Street. Polamalu needs to take a step back to let Lonnie Johnson play free safety. Yeah, Matt, Polamalu, I thought, started fast, and then he started struggling really quickly. Eric Bell, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Miguel Garcia, yesterday I buried. Okay, I saw that. You know what, Vicky, again, I'm actually not dressing up this Halloween. I've got a lot of decorations Mama Bear and I are going to put up, and we're handing out a lot of candy, and we're going to go out front. We like to really like be a part of it. We don't sit in our house. We usually go sit out a table. We'll sit out our chairs, and we're outside with everyone. My daughter's got a couple of great costumes she can wear. My Linda Bear, Mama Bear has a bunch of different costumes she can use. I have a cool convict one. I have one of the Winter Soldier from Marvel. If you don't know who the Winter Soldier is, you're not cool. Just accept that. And I'm planning on doing something big next year, though. Social media has no love for us at all by week 36-3 over the Raiders. Well, you know, honestly, Jesse, we will never get respect until we take it. That's all there is to it. Me too, Bear. I'd bet AOC would throw interceptions like Geno. You know, honestly, I don't. I think he's going to be all right. Well, Eric, I agree when you say you've seen enough of him. I completely agree with that. But I have to remind you, some of that was under Josh McDaniels. Okay. Some of that was changing playbooks, you know, more than once. I just think that if he's already been in Chip Kelly's offense, he's looked at it, he's seen it, then he got hurt. Now he has a chance to come out on the field, understand what he's going to be doing, and feel like it's his. You know what I mean? Because if Geno doesn't play well and they pull him, they're definitely not going to go to Kenny Pickett again. He's just on the roster. He's an emergency guy, if anything. That's the only reason why he played the week before that was because AOC still wasn't available. But with AOC back, he'll be the 2. If Geno, you know, starts off slow, they'll probably pull him. Chris Strong says, yes, Bear, you've been riding with O'Connell since the draft. I was here for it. And I don't get off. I mean, if I see it and I say, okay, no, he's done. Okay, fine. But the only thing I don't agree with Eric Bell about is whether or not we've seen enough of him yet. I just don't agree with that. Some fans can feel that way. Obviously, he can feel that way. But I don't feel like we've seen enough of him yet to really say we know he's not good enough. I don't think we've seen that yet. Miguel, you know what? Let's give grandfather a moment of silence here. All right. And we will send Mr. Garcia off with a good one. Raiders! Raider Law, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. We need an offensive coordinator that has no ego and just good play calling. Yeah, the Chip Kelly thing's not working. That's why when people were asking for Pete Carroll to fire his son from the offensive line, I was like, I'm talking about Chip Kelly more than I'm worried about what the offensive line coach is doing. We have to remember those offensive linemen that we've had issues with before Carroll's boy got here. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm ready yet to blame that on Pete Carroll's son. I'm not saying he's shown enough that, we should give him a raise or anything. But at the same time, I just don't think we've seen enough to say for sure that he's the problem. Wait a second. Are you saying that O'Connell is going to start against the Jaguars? No, Joe, he won't start. Geno will start again. Pete's not going to get off him unless he explodes or throws 7 more interceptions in one game. It would have to be something pretty bad. Because, he's an old school coach. He's going to ride with the guy that got him there. Wow. AOC's limited mobility will be destroyed with Chip Kelly and our O-line. Matt, that's kind of what I'm getting at is that when we see him come in, if he comes in, if he plays poorly, should we then again go, oh, look, there it is? Should we all agree with Eric Bell that, he sucks? You know what I mean? I'm just using Eric Bell because, he was the one willing to say, I'm done with AOC. You know what I mean? Because I feel that way about Malcolm Kuntz. I'm done with Malcolm Kuntz. Malcolm Kuntz could come back with his name changed to Khalil Mack, gain 30 pounds of muscle, and say he felt 5 years younger. And I'd say, good, where would you like us to trade you? How about the Niners? That's where we sent Arden Key. Oh, man. Jacoby for Woolen. I've heard about that, Matt. That kid Woolen with Seattle is nice. He's nice. And from what I understand, Pete Carroll, obviously, he just got done working there. Okay. And the new general manager, he makes a few phone calls. He could talk to the owner and the other staff and blah, 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 and the agent and so on and so forth. And if anyone had the right situation to grease the wheels for us to make this work, think about it. The Seahawks absolutely need wide receivers, and we absolutely need cover corners. So, and safeties and so on and so on. Vicky! Good! Hey, at least someone's enjoying the show. Troy Gill, what's up, my brother? Welcome to the show. Jesse, I know it ain't like that. That's how I feel, brother. That's just me. We need an offensive coordinator with no ego, just good play calling. Alvin Nance, you did say that. I love that profile picture. Looking good, brother. And I got to say this to you, too. We do need I want an offensive coordinator that is either young and innovative and right out of the college ranks, someone in college that's just young, that's going to come in, get the players fired up a little bit, you know what I mean? Because they're grown men, you know what I mean? You know how it is with grown men. I mean, I'm a grown man. If some young coach comes in that's 30 some odd years old and starts going, we're going to do this, I'm just, all right. I'm not going to run through a wall for that guy until I really see what he does work on the field. You know what I mean? So a veteran locker room, a younger coach is going to have to earn it. So that's why you don't see, a tremendous amount of young coaches getting jobs. It's usually 2 or 3 jobs here, 2 or 3 jobs there. And that can be spread out, for years because they don't tend to work out, but sometimes they do. Okay, Jesse Parker, I think I can handle that. Nietzsche, sweet Thomas. Appreciate the love on the stars, sweetheart. Let's see. John Rogers Jr. At the end of your road, I'll tell you this much. I'll be putting foots in them. I got you, brother. Raiders. That one sucked. Raiders. John, appreciate the love, brother. Welcome to the show. Hope you enjoy yourself. Okay, so real quick, I was going to compare LeBron to Pete Carroll in this sense. LeBron and the Lakers have come to an impasse where LeBron makes too much money for the Lakers to make more moves. But with just Luka and Matt Reeves, they already have a nucleus. Now with some big guys and guys like Hachimura and other guys coming off the bench that could score, especially that guy they got, the point guard they got from the Miami Heat. I can't remember his name. I think it's Elliott or Martin or something like that. The guy with the braids that plays point guard for them or backup, or I don't know if he's a starter or not, but he's good. And so the Lakers are pretty solid whether LeBron's there or not. So I already predicted that this whole betting scandal is why he's probably really sitting. You know what I mean? And then number 2, not only is the injury fake, but he's upset that it's now Luka's team. It's no longer LeBron's team. So he looks stupid. And then you heard reports today that Bronny James, LeBron's son, is getting uppity with the Lakers and complaining about things. So I think he's all but trying to get them to cut him or trade him. So it's like, what the hell is going on? But it's really because LeBron's got no moves left. If this is chess, he's in check. What's he going to do? Go back to Cleveland? Can't do that. Go back to Miami? Can't do that. The owner there hates him, and the general manager and the president, Pat Riley. Can't go to a new team because he's too old. You know what I mean? So you can't go to like the Thunder or something like that. The only team I thought that made sense for LeBron is the Clippers. They're super old. They're the oldest team in the league. And so he would fit there, but that's it. All right, now that's enough about basketball. So Pete Carroll is in a similar situation where because of his age and the fact that he only has a 2-year deal, by coming out of the gate so badly, it makes year 2 look pointless. Because if he ends with a bad season, which is looking like we probably will, and some of that's the locker room, we have to accept that because I think some people in the locker room wanted to send a message. You don't score 0 points, not 0. You accidentally get a field goal. You know what I mean? You accidentally in garbage time, get 1 touchdown on a kick return or something like that. You don't get a 0. That's why you see them so rarely. I mean, it's incredibly rare to get a 0 at the NFL level. You know what I mean? For a defense to shut another team down so much that they can't score. It's very rare. Even bad teams usually get at least a couple points up on the board. So you said that Mark will sell the team after his mom dies. Still behind that? Matt Marinovich, not only am I behind that, I'm putting a clock on it because I don't see it. I don't see this going very far. I think that Mark Davis, in a perfect world, he owns the women's NBA. Okay, the WNBA. He owns that. So he's still going to be a mega rich guy, even if he sold the Raiders right now and just went home. He still owns a multi-world champion women's NBA team. Now, before you say, well, so what, Bear? It doesn't get ratings. No one watches. The league takes a loss every single year. All of those things are true. But his team, though, is the team dominating that league that's starting to get a foothold mainly because of Caitlin Clark. Let's just all admit it, whether you like her or don't like her, whether the white girls and black girls thing. I don't care. Everyone needs to suck it up, shut up, and just let the girl play. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to say all girls are catty. I just lost about a bunch of stars from Nisi Tweet Thomas. She was probably typing it in. I went, oh, hell no. He's calling all women. But no, I just couldn't believe how catty things got in the WNBA. I just couldn't believe that they would ruin this burst of energy that they had over black and white nonsense on the internet and just. But anyway, I do think he'll sell. I think it's the smart move. I think it gets him out from all that Bank of America loans and stuff. And Mark can walk away, and then Tom can come in with his group and do what I think he would do. He's going to look for a very young coach. He's going to look to draft a ton of guys. He's going to let some guys go, and he's going to just start fitting pieces in from trades and free agency and undrafted free agents and so on and so forth. And he's going to want to put his mark on this to the point where most of us as Raider fans will not recognize the team in 2027, 2028, somewhere in that range. 2027, 2028, we are not going to recognize this Raider roster. We won't. Well, we'll recognize it because we love them, but I mean, we'll be getting used to them. Let's say it that way. Most of them will be new to us. Peggy here. I couldn't help but notice that you didn't answer my hubby's question. You really think the Raiders can beat the Jaguars? Okay, sorry. Yes, I really do think the Raiders can beat the Jaguars. But that's more because I think they're just as much of a mess as we are. Just like I predicted we would beat the Titans. It wasn't confidence in the Raiders. It was seeing that the Titans are hot garbage. Lit on fire hot garbage. Like before we got there, everybody was like, damn, you smell that? It was that bad. They're that bad. I don't see the Jaguars as that bad. I know they have a couple of impressive wins this year, but I don't like the Raiders, but I don't hate them unless I'm with my dad and he's very visiting. So oh, very well done. I love the Newport family. You guys are great. Kevin Kahu Hano. What's up, bro? Hi, honey. Let's see. I hope we look better against the Jaguars. Otherwise, big changes need to be made. Fish in Vegas, I would say to you this. First, your profile picture is dope. And second, I would say to you, no matter what happens the rest of the way, there should be a vital change. In fact, I would imagine that Pete Carroll, and I'm going to say this out loud now, I've been holding on to this one. I think Pete Carroll should step down. I think he should literally walk away. I don't think the money matters. You know what I mean? I think he'll just take whatever's a part of his contract, and I think he should just walk off into the sunset. Steven and Mrs. Shaw! And that amazing Ford truck. You know, Bob, I'm going to just be honest with you. I haven't watched a single second of the World Series. I don't feel baseball anymore. I'm an A's fan. Don't get me wrong. So if the A's start coming into it, I'm there. But, I watch for the regular season because I watch my A's. Once they're out, I'm good. You know what I mean? I don't have a horse in the race. And I'm not a fair weather fan. I'm an A's fan, originally from Oakland. And so I can't root for these other teams. I'm glad they're having exciting games. I'm glad it's exciting. I'm glad you're enjoying it, but I can't feel it. I kind of like O'Connell, but he has no feet. Hell, I could catch him. And our offensive line is playing like crap, Bear. Handsome Joe, I got to tell you, man, you're right about that, but I don't see how his being able to move is somehow so bad that we wouldn't want to see him instead of Geno at this point. I just want to see any able-bodied Raider quarterback get a shot. We saw Kenny Pickett. It was embarrassing. He needs to take him and his baby hands and go away. Just retire. Take the couple contracts that you've gotten, Kenny Pickett. You're probably already rich. I would imagine you probably got 9, 10 million, maybe 12 million in the bank. You've gotten how many contracts? 2 or 3? 2 or 3. So you probably got a few million in the bank. Go home. Just be glad you played. Be glad you get to say that you were a Raider and a Steeler and a Brown and a Viking and a Cardinal and a Patriot and a Charger. And it's not that many, but it's damn close. Let Carroll's kid be the assistant OC and Joe Philbin be our O-line coach. That makes more sense to me, Joe Philbin, to be honest with you, because we've already seen him do the job, and it was pretty good with the pieces we had. I mean, he was making some of that line serviceable, and then we moved him out, and then we got bad again. So that could be a thing. Yeah, Matt, he held on for way too long, and now he's in a situation where what does he do? Now I'll be honest with you. I told Mama Bear there is one story though that is spicy. What if he walks next door and joins the Clippers and James Harden and Kawhi Leonard and that big center Subox that they have? Hey man, that's looking championship contender like that. And you already saw them that way. They're just an old team. You add LeBron, they get older, but they get a lot smarter and more athletic, and they get more guys they can mix and match. The Clippers could become real dangerous, and they're already good. And that's a good squad. You add LeBron to that. And remember, you'll be able to get him on the cheap. He's old now. So they're not going to have to give the Lakers 5 first-round picks or something crazy like they would have had to have given in the past. So could be interesting. But I'll be honest with you, I honestly like Pete Carroll. And I don't like to back down, and I don't like to backpedal. In other words, if I said something or I said something should happen, and if it does, it's good, then it doesn't. I'm not going to turn around and go, I didn't say that. I don't do that. I stand behind what I say and what I pick. I like Pete Carroll. I like the guy that he is to turn this franchise around, and thus far, he's stunk. And, I mean, let's not forget, this is a guy that went for it on, 4th and 7 behind our 30-yard line early in the year. I think it might have even been game 1. Going off memory, and that's always a danger with me. But he went for it, on our side of the field, and he didn't get it. I mean, I'm sorry, that play, to me, that play was almost a fireable offense right there. You're the head coach and you called that? Why? Do you really think we were that good at that point to go for it on 4th down on our own side of the field? Whether we have a win or 1 win or no wins or whatever, it's madness. You just joined this squad. They just learned everything you got them learning, and now you want them, while they're on the first part of learning all these things you had them learn, you want them to go for it under all that pressure with their own end zone just right behind them. It's madness. He's gotten away with it because it happened early on in the season, so people have moved on. I haven't. Just because I like Pete Carroll and I wanted him to succeed, I'm not going to not grade him appropriately. Thus far, he's gotten a D. He has. Because part of that is what are you doing to motivate your son? What are you doing to get Chip Kelly? Why did you order Patrick Graham, our defensive coordinator, to come down from the box, but you leave Chip Kelly in the box? And I'm not saying it has anything to do with race, but get Chip Kelly's fat ass down to the field and let him call plays. Excuse my language. I'm mad. We are going to have $110 million in cap space next year. They should spend like drunken sailors and bring in quality players, including veteran O-linemen. Well, see, I think Tom would do that. That's the reason why I think Carroll should step down. He had a shot. Had he got off to a wild start, okay, and we were real good, like 7-2, something like that. If he had gotten off to a wild start, then all bets are off. We stick with Carroll, and we'll see you next year. Hope we get a Super Bowl. But with the way it started, he pushed all his chips on the table, and he lost. As far as I'm concerned, he should step down. You could be a partial owner, brother. Oh, come on, girl. We got, we're right here. Come on now. Although I got to admit, I meant what I said when I told you I was jealous when I saw all those grandbabies. You got me on that one, because I love me some babies. But mine are still in California, so I can't see them the way I used to. But, man, you have some beautiful babies in that family. Our line played better once Philbin took over last year. Yeah, Tana, that's what I was saying. I agree with you. I think it was the Chicago game where Pete went for it on fourth. Yeah, I don't even care which game. He probably should have got fired for that. Now, I'm not saying you just run right down there as Mark Davis and fire him. I mean, you really can't do that. But I'm just saying in his mind, I'm saying unless he has like an incredible run the rest of the way, I'm thinking about firing him. He hasn't had an incredible run the rest of the way. Some of it's been the locker room. Some of the stories you're hearing that there were some fights in the locker room are true. So to use your words, foots in LeBron James, and a lot of the people that have the stupid idea that he's better than Michael Jordan, that is very stupid. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but after you look up how many 30-point games. Oh, yeah, no, I've done all that. Yeah. How many times was he defensive player, one of the highest, ranked on the defensive player of the year list? LeBron never gets that. I think he got it once. Led the league in scoring, LeBron once. Michael, I don't know, like a dozen times, something crazy. So, yeah, and then people forget, too, Michael won 3 championships in a row. Then because of gambling, he was forced out of basketball into baseball. He played 2 years of baseball. Then he came back to basketball, lost 1 championship run to, I think it was Orlando. And then he went on to go championship. 3 in a row the first time, 3 in a row the second time. Every time he made it to the championship round, he won every single time. LeBron has more losses than wins. So don't get me started. See, you got me started. I sure heard you're wrong about Brady buying the Raiders. It sure would put a real bad taste in my mouth, even if we did win. Joe, I got to tell you, I hate it. It used to give me vomit reflex. I've been working with a therapist to get past that. There's some truth in that. Swear. But because he disgusts me. I mean, literally, I think he's filth. I'm serious. I think Tom Brady is a terrible human being. He's a son mouth kissing, adultering, losing his wife to football, lying piece of garbage that cheats the game repeatedly and then goes, "Oh, wasn't me. You should talk to my ball boys." You know why you should talk to my ball boys? Well, see, my ball boys took my balls into the bathroom and they deflated my balls in the bathroom. They did. I'm not saying anything dirty. This is true. It's what happened. The referees took my balls in the bathroom and deflated them. I had no idea. Lying piece of garbage. Just garbage. Chiefs stay healthy. They're going to the Super Bowl. Yeah, at least this time it won't be in our place, okay, Bill? Steven Shaw and Mrs. Shaw. Okay, so let me make sure I have these notes up here that I hold on tabs on my show before I finish. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything that I meant to tell you guys about. I was talking about how bad Pete Carroll's been. I was talking about the injury report. We did that. No, that's nothing. Let's see. That's old. No, I think I got everything. I think I got everything tonight, guys. Okay, I'm going to cut this just a little bit short, guys, because I got to go pick up the youngin'. It's my night to pick up the youngin' from work. So I want to be a few minutes early. So, all right, that's my show. Much love. Shout out to our armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, Space Force. For all you do, the energy and love of this show is dedicated to your sacrifice, active and veteran. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope to see you tomorrow night. I will have more news. We got to talk about Friday's injury report. We got to talk about Jamal Adams wanting to get moved back into the secondary instead of playing limited linebacker. It's going crazy. Steven Shaw, God bless you, brother. Much love. That was nice of you to say. We put that up there. That's right. Semper Fi. Love you, girl. God rest Mr. Garcia. I don't know if you're still watching, brother. I got you. Miguel. Feel better, Miguel. All right? Think about you and where you live and your woman and your family and your job, and love your dad, but let him see you continuing to live, brother. All right? Love you. Much love, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night. R8R Bear family page. Hey! No, wait. Gotta say it more macho than that with my eyes hidden. Hey!